Welcome back. Today, we're counting down the top 10 worst train collisions ever recorded. From cars trapped on railway crossings to massive truck impacts, derailments, and train-on-train crashes, these shocking accidents show the devastating power of an oncoming train. Let's get started with number 10. Number 10. What should have been a routine crossing turned into a nightmare. The barrier dropped at the worst possible moment, locking the truck across the tracks. The driver escaped with only seconds to spare. Then came the deafening horn, and an unstoppable train slammed into the truck, ripping the front end to pieces in a catastrophic collision. Number 9. The massive freight truck was still crossing the tracks when disaster struck. An approaching train crashed into the middle of the trailer, shredding it apart and dragging the wreckage down the railway in a terrifying collision. Miraculously, the train driver escaped with minor injuries and survived the horrific accident. Number 8. Number 7. Disaster unfolded when a transport truck hauling a military tank became trapped on a railway crossing. As the driver struggled to move the heavy load, a train emerged in the distance, closing in fast. Seconds later, the locomotive crashed into the tank, sending debris flying in every direction. Despite the tremendous force of the impact, the tank's armored structure absorbed much of the blow, suffering only minor deformation while the trailer was torn apart beneath it. Number 6. Two trains found themselves on the same track, heading toward a dangerous collision. As the crews realized the mistake, both trains applied their brakes and began slowing down, giving passengers a better chance of staying safe. Even so, the distance was too short to avoid disaster. The locomotives collided with a powerful impact, and one of the trains derailed as cars lurched off the tracks. Thanks to the reduced speed, many passengers escaped serious injury, but the crash left a trail of twisted metal and destruction behind. Number 5. A truck accidentally entered the railway crossing and was lightly struck by an oncoming train. A second train suddenly appeared from the opposite direction. The powerful impact shattered the truck and scattered debris onto the railway. Seconds later, the two trains collided amid the wreckage, creating a massive crash that left twisted metal and destruction stretching across the tracks. Number 4. A car ignored the warning and slipped past the barrier just as it began to come down, trapping it on the railway crossing. Realizing the danger, the driver quickly abandoned the vehicle and ran to safety. Seconds later, a train came rushing down the tracks. With no time to stop, it slammed into the abandoned car, smashing it into pieces and scattering debris across the crossing in a violent impact. Number 3. A tractor-trailer was making its way across the railway crossing when the lowering barrier arm became caught on the trailer, preventing the driver from clearing the tracks. As the driver struggled to move forward, a train suddenly appeared in the distance. Within moments, the locomotive slammed into the rear trailer with tremendous force, ripping it completely away from the truck. The detached trailer was hurled across the crossing as debris scattered everywhere, while the tractor itself narrowly escaped the worst of the impact. Number 2. A car was slowly crossing the railway tracks when it suddenly stalled in the middle of the crossing. The driver tried desperately to restart the engine, but the vehicle refused to move. As panic set in, the distant sound of a train horn echoed down the tracks. Realizing there was no time left, the driver abandoned the car and ran to safety. Seconds later, the train slammed into the stranded vehicle, tearing it apart and scattering debris across the railway in a violent collision. Number 1.
Get the out! La way. La
The tractor-trailer sat helplessly across the railway tracks as an oncoming train closed in. There was no time left to escape the collision. The train slammed into the trailer with a thunderous impact, sending smoke and debris billowing into the air. The force of the crash tore through the truck and caused parts of the train to derail, leaving a trail of wreckage stretching far beyond the crossing. Bonus.
geblieben, als im nächsten Moment ein Güterzug heranrast. Mit voller Wucht kracht die Bahn in den mit Bauschutt beladenen Lastwagen.
A truck was stopped on the railway tracks, completely unaware of the danger approaching. As the driver realized what was happening, the warning came too late. An oncoming train raced toward the crossing and slammed into the stranded truck with tremendous force. The impact shattered the vehicle, sending debris flying across the tracks as the train pushed through the wreckage in a dramatic collision. These clips show how quickly accidents can happen when traffic rules are ignored or conditions are unsafe. From red light violations to poor visibility and slippery roads, even a small mistake can lead to serious collisions. Always stay alert, drive responsibly, and adjust your speed to the road conditions. Safe driving can prevent situations like these and save lives.